through the tutorial for Unity 4 projectiles and ball throwing game. So you're in your physics template. In the project window here, go to scenes, click on that, and then double click projectiles. And you should be taken to the projectile screen there. And if you look in the hierarchy, you can see it there. We've got a camera, some light going through, and a plane as our default things that are already created. So we can go on to the next step, which is to create your cube game object. So game object, 3D object, cube, and there you can see our cube has been created. While you have your cube selected in the hierarchy window, go over to its inspector and set its position to X is 1, Y is 0.5, and Z is 15. For your cube, go and add a rigid body component. So click Add Component, Physics, Rigid Body, and we got that there. Change your mass to 0.5, and make sure your Use Gravity option is selected, and you can see it's default that it is. Under Materials, in your pre-existing assets, you can see brown here. So take and drag your brown onto your cube game object to color that cube game object brown. All right, you're going to add 9 more cubes by hitting your duplicate function for your cubes. And now adjust the positions of those cubes on the Y and the X axis to create a 10-box pyramid. So you may want to zoom out a little bit in your scene view, do whatever you need to adjust your view so you can see that. And then you've got your first cube there that you created in the hierarchy window. The second cube that you see here, now I've selected. Use your X and your Y arrows to separate those out. Now go into our third cube that I created. Again, moving this across here. And then I go into my fourth one here, move that across, and I've got the first row of my stack of boxes. Now you can go into number 4, bring that up. It would be best to use vector snapping if you can to bring this cube directly on top of your other ones before you start shifting it around. Go to my next one, bringing that one up, holding down V for vector, holding down V for vector positioning there, and then moving that over. Next cube there. Hold down V for vector snapping. Oh, crap. Oh, looks like I lost my vector snapping. We'll just do that. And 7. Oh, looks like I need one more cube. And we're going to move that cube. right, so you should now have your stack of cubes there. Double check that you've got everything worked out by hitting play. Oh, looks like I have one of my cubes is off position, so I'll exit play again. Change that position. And hit play, and then watch my game view and make sure my boxes, they look like they're a little bit off, so do a better job than I did. But there's your stack of boxes. Exit play again. So now you should have your 10 box pyramid. Select your cubes, go into game object, create empty parent, and then name that boxes. All right, I'm going to stop there before I go on. All right, guys, now we're going on to create your launch origin. So we're going to add a new cube game object while we're in the hierarchy window selected here. Game object, 3D object, cube. And now we've got our cube. Name that launch origin. In its inspector window, we're setting our position to x equals 0, y equals 3, z equals 0. And then we'll set our scale to 0.2 along all axes. And we're going to set our rotation for the x to 66. And this is our launch angle, something that you can adjust later if you don't like the launch angle, how your ball fires. All right, and then we're still in the inspector window for our launch origin. I'm going to remove mesh renderer. And this will basically hide your launch origin so that it's not visible. All right, let's set up our camera. So we're going to do main camera, and we're going to put that on, we're going to drag that down to launch origin to make it a child of launch origin. And then when we select our main camera, we're going to set its position to x is -10, y equals -7, z equals -3. Our rotation is 65, y equals 14, and z equals -13. All right, those are our settings for our camera. Now we're going to create a prefab for our ball. So again, we're going back to game object 3D. This time we're going to do sphere. And we're going to name sphere to ball to create our prefab. We're doing position and rotation of 0 on all axes for our sphere. And then we are going to add a rigid body component under